What's up, everyone? Your boy Retrospect just got up. It's fucking 11 o'clock, man. It's crazy. I get up early, man, but I've been staying up so late. I'm trying to hold the phone. There you go. I don't want to hold the phone. I put my socks on, man. But you know what? I can't sleep, man. Fucking, this move's got me going crazy. I worry about stuff, you think about Margarita and what our parents are going to think, and I still gotta learn Spanish, man. I know some, but I don't know a lot. But I was up late last night, figuring out what I'm gonna do because my furniture isn't selling. The lady is supposed to call back for the fridge. She hasn't called back. Some guy messaged me for some parts for the truck today, so. Those front hubs I put up for sale for $50. He asked me if they're a 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. I forgot to mention, so you probably should do that. Make sure you describe everything, unlike me. So I had to message him and tell him they're a 4x4, and so I'm waiting for him to reply. So I'm kind of like hanging out at home until he replies because that's $50, and I could use the money for for stuff today. So, yeah, I'm kind of waiting on that. If he comes soon, which I hope he does, but you gotta remember, people on Facebook Marketplace, most people work. So, which I work too, but a lot of times that business doesn't happen until at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Towards after work, like 5 o'clock. And I noticed too at Facebook Marketplace too, it doesn't really start popping until the weekend. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the only thing that really sells is like stuff that's needed. You know what I mean? Like, like car parts, like, cause they're, they need that shit. The rest of the stuff, man, that stuff usually sells on the weekends, man. When people have money, they get paid on Friday and they want like, I got like a TV for sale and they're like, they want to go shop, you know what I mean? Cause they got their check. So you gotta really plan your business around that. Like if you wheel and deal like me, and you have to know that, And it's weird too in different countries. I've been in situations where like, these people at first I don't know the language. Second, they're meeting me, you know what I mean, and I don't know how to speak to them. So like I'm really relying on body language, and it can become a hassle. It can become a problem real quick. Um. So it's really good to know like your basics, you know what I mean? Depending on what language it is. I really go out of my way to study that. Which I will be talking about those. We'll be studying together. Because I got to take the ham radio class, and in order to get your ham radio license, you got to be able to speak 2 languages fluently. And they want you to speak English and Spanish because Spanish is it's the most like it's the second most spoken language on the ocean, worldwide. Um, it's not the first language actually. The most spoken language around the world is actually Mandarin, if anybody wants to know. There's more Mandarin people than there are all together in the world. So a lot of people don't understand that, man. The population of the world, like almost 70% of the population, 60% of the population is Asians, and they're all from China. People don't get that. So, they had over 1 billion people, and you got to remember too, a lot of those people, it didn't blow up until the 80s, 70s. China was a really, really, really poor country, and they went through the Great Famine. So they were really, they were worried, about, their infrastructure. They're really hardened people. They're really hardened people, man. And, they found, people don't know is they found the biggest coal deposit in the world. It's called Linfen, China. And if you go over there, which I haven't been, but you can go look this up on like Vice News and stuff. And it's the most polluted place in the world, man. And you got to remember, you got to put, like, if you watch this is why I'm doing documentaries. I'm going to be doing documentaries. This is why I watch them. I love them. But if you watch a documentary, you know, it's crazy to think that in the 70s, that place wasn't there. You know what I mean? And during the 80s, you know, with the electronic boom and everything else, you know, all these cars and stuff, it got really bad. Um, to the point where, like, the state, the government state, you know, you gotta remember, everything's government state ran. So the government's, you know, pulling all this coal out, you know, all these people are working for the government, but yet they're not getting paid right, you know. So, you know, they're getting, you know, the government's using them. So, you know, these people are risking their lives and making mines, you know what I mean? And getting the coal out, you know what I mean? So, you know, now you got the people, right, going against the government, you know, to try to make a living. And it's all bad news in the first place, because if you go down there, you can't even see in front of your hand. That's how polluted it is. They say, you know, in the documentary, it says being down there is like smoking a pack of cigarettes, a carton of cigarettes, just from living there. That's insane. You know, and the people that live there, you know, they all have emphysema, you know, and they don't even wear masks and stuff, you know, and the people that, it's sad, dude. It's really bad. And like the river, like the kids, like they did a documentary, you know, and the kids that used to live there, they don't even swim in the river no more because they can't. It'll burn them. It will fuck them up. So they don't. And it's pretty fucked up, man. You got to check it out. But you know, that's another reason why I'm doing all these videos too, is to make people aware of them, you know, people aware of what's really going on around the world. So I wanted to sail, you know, past New York, and I wanted to find a boat up here, you know, and I'm not really finding one yet. So I decided last night, I was mapping out the Appalachian Trail, and you know, it's a 3,000-mile trail. It's a long trail. It goes all the way from Maine to Georgia, and I'm gonna be riding it. You know, I'm gonna be backpacking it. You know, and it's gonna be, by the time I get there, it's gonna be end of summer. I'm gonna be heading south. You know, it's gonna be kind of cold somewhat, and I'm hoping to get down there before it gets cold. You know, and you know, you gotta remember too, those. You know, I'm gonna be in an elevation. I'm gonna be high up in the air. You know, it's gonna be hard to breathe and stuff. I'm not used to all that, which I'm gonna have to bring stuff with me, like Viagra, just for emergency purposes. Viagra has nitrogen in it, and that's what makes, you know, it's, everybody knows that that hikes, you know what I mean, that climbs mountains knows to bring Viagra because it'll save you. You can take it, and it puts nitrogen, puts oxygen back in your blood. It helps you breathe. You know how you get lightheaded and stuff, and you get that sickness and everything because you're not breathing enough oxygen. That Viagra will save your life. It will. So, you know, I got to put all that stuff, you know, together in retrospect. But what's frustrating me now, I decided that I wanted to ride along Lake Erie. One, I'm going to do a documentary about the people along the lake, and, you know, ask some questions, you know what I mean, about it and stuff, and what's going on, you know, in the neighborhood. And I'm going to make my way to New York. So I have a feeling I'm going to be biking a lot. And, you know, I made this decision last night, you know, so now I got to go figure out what infrastructure is along the lake, you know, because there's not going to be sidewalks all along the lake. There's not going to be roads all the way around the lake, you know what I mean? So I want to ride along the coast of the Lake Erie, you know, heading towards New York, you know, like through Pennsylvania, Ohio, you know what I mean, all the way up until, you know, New York. So I'm going to head to Buffalo. But I know I'm not going to be able to ride my bike along the lake the whole time. So it's going to take a lot of effort, and I got gear. So I was thinking about getting a car, you know, ride my bike and go get a car out there, but then I can't carry all those gears. So I'm going to have to get a car. I'm looking at them. I looked at another Geo Metro this morning. They only want $1,300 for it, and it's a manual. It's a newer one than one I have. It's a 95, so it's a newer body style. But it runs, but it doesn't run. It runs like shit. And he says it gets up to 70, no problem, but he blew the head gasket. So they replaced the head gasket, and he says it still runs like shit. So either one, it's got a bad head, or they didn't put the head gasket on right. Or it's got a warped head, or, overheated head, or it could be something simple. They could have did it right, and it's just a throttle body or something. But it's kind of far. So, but they only wanted 1,300. I don't know. There's a few cars on there. But I don't even really want to go look at them yet until I figure out what I'm gonna do with my furniture. I gotta get all this stuff in. I'm gonna end up having to get I'm gonna have to get a storage unit, man, and a bigger one. I think. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get a bigger one. So, which I should have waited, but I was determined to sell my furniture, and it's not selling, man. And like I said, I know why. Because it hurts to let it go. I don't want to let it go. All this furniture, man, is expensive furniture. It's high-end furniture. It's all, most of the stuff, like that dresser was given to me, all my china was, a lot of that china was given to me. Not all of it, but good half of it. And then, my bed, I paid a lot of money for my bed. I paid a lot of money for this stuff, man. So, yeah, that's the goal today. I haven't done anything yet. I haven't smoked. I haven't done anything, man. I haven't read. All I did is check my Facebook, which I don't even know if he's messaged back yet. So, here, we'll do a Bible study. I'll do a verse real quick, because I gotta get one in, and then, I'm gonna go get off the phone. I'm gonna go finish getting ready, getting dressed. I gotta eat something. And I gotta go to the doctor's today because I gotta get my medication refilled. I take naproxen for my knee. It's easier on my stomach than the ibuprofen. For the most part, the marijuana helps. It does. It helps every day. It takes the pain away, but some days, man, it's I can't bear the pain. So I take naproxen, man. It's a leave, and I go to the doctor for it because they give you the 250 milligram tabs, instead of the ones from the dollar store. So, and I only got to take one of those, and it lasts all day. So it knocks out my knee pain. I'll show you guys. I might show you guys the X-rays. I had to download, because people don't know, like, medical imaging, they're DICOMM files. They're DICOM files. So you gotta make sure you have, like, the right, extensions, the stuff, right programs to open those files up. And I had my X-rays on my knee on a disc, and I could never get the photos of you and in Windows. And it doesn't tell you on the disc that they're DICOM, files. You can't even have access. You can't even get access to the disc unless you download the DICOM program. It's funny. So Linux actually has an open source